butter. Eat that meat, Jennifer. Why doesn't that pheasant look pleasant? Fasten your taste buds for gastronomic ride. Cause us two fat ladies are itching up to get into your kitchen. Yeah! Oh, yes. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
You David Ross. Hello, Clarissa Dixon,
Lovely
right?
to meet you.
I'm fascinated by these wonderful creatures.
Aren't we all? So,
We bought them some food.
oh, that'll go down well.
You think so?
Yes, as long as you've got plenty of it. That doesn't look very sort of elephantine in proportion.
It's an amuse girl, a
Right, but
tempter.
And let her just take... She'll take it off. You just present it
There you are.
gently. She'll find it. That's it. There's a strict pecking order here.
Is there? Oh, right.
Tota here in the front
Gets it all.
is the leader
The leader of the
of
bear.
the herd.
There you are.
Here you are.
Her- She's the wisest and the oldest at 34.
34?
And she rules the whole group.
Never mind feeding the elephants. Aren't we supposed to be feeding your lads?
We certainly are. We've got several elephant keepers looking after this lot, and it creates a voracious appetite, I can assure you.
Well, I should think you must be infectious.
Yeah. Around.
Yes, there's the big monster.
Right then, to the kitchen.
Perfect day.
Bumpity, bumpity.
How charming is this?
There we go.
Isn't that nice?
Keeps me busy in the garden,
I
that's
bet
for
it
sure.
does. Wasn't it terrific? I like the way when they put back their trunks and they sort of took the whole thing in. Extraordinary thing to do.
Amazing. I'm going to cook a recipe of my mother's, which is a spatchcocked poussin devilled.
It's just as well you're putting all that on it because they don't really have any flavour. They need a little help, rather like a fillet steak, don't they? Beautiful texture, no taste.
Yes, well, they haven't had a very long life in which to acquire much taste. Taste comes with age. Cut it down the middle of the back, and then you just turn it over and you lean on it. If you're of a fuller figure like me, it's not very difficult. If you're a skinny little thing, you may have to thump it with something. And then you take some skewers. You don't have to do this. This is just to be neat and tidy, really. And put it through so that it holds the chicken in some sort of shape. And then you do the same the other way round. And all you do then is, if you've got a good, strong pair of kitchen scissors, you can just snip off the ends. And there we are. And then just put it in its dish with its little friends. And then here I have some softened butter. And I'm going to add to that a good dollop of Worcester sauce. You can make it as hot or not as you want, but be quite brave.
If I know you, it'll be full of chili peppers or something.
No, just Tabasco.
Just Tabasco.
Little bit of Tabasco, dear Mr. McElhenney. And then some good dry Coleman's mustard. You want dry mustard for this, none of your made-up nonsense.
Strong taste.
And a good pinch of pepper. And a pinch of salt. And then you just mush it all together. It smells lovely. If you haven't got Tabasco sauce, use cayenne pepper or even chili powder. There we are, mashed all about. And then you take your birds and you just spread it over the top. As if you were icing a cake, really. You want to spread it quite liberally. So what are you up to?
Oh, I'm doing something equally simple, as a matter of fact. Wonderful smell coming from here. Apples always produce this wonderful smell. And I've always liked this recipe because it was in the days of swing when I was about 14. And I think it was the Andrews sisters. And they sang this wonderful song called Shoe fly pie and apple pan dowdy make your eyes light up and your tummy say howdy. Tummy say howdy.
Howdy. I like the idea of your tummy saying howdy. Yes, that's very good.
Anyway, it's a form of apple pie, and when cooked, served with a large quantity of whipped cream. What could be nicer? So what I've got here are all these apples cut into slices, and I'm going to flavour them. First of all, good spoonful of golden treacle, lovely golden treacle, friend of one's childhood. Then we want a couple of pinches of good old nutmeg. Great thing about nutmeg is seems to go with anything. It just produces one of these marvellous spicy tastes, and cinnamon as well.
Cinnamon and apple, a marriage made in heaven.
Absolutely delicious. The only time I didn't like cinnamon was at school, and they used to give some disgusting medicine flavoured with it. I think it was for colds. Could have been. We'll mix them up. Now transfer it to a well-buttered oven dish.
Caressed with butter.
Well, quite a lot of butter.
I was at the dogs, at the greyhounds once, and I had this wonderful bacon sandwich, and the woman said to me, she said, as it's you, she said, I've spread butter on the bread.
That was grand.
Yeah, that was grand. That was so sweet.
Now we make the batter to go on the top of it, which I suppose is the dowdy, or the pan dowdy, or something. I've got a mixture here now of... I've got some milk here and some butter there. Put the milk into the butter, set the ready. Then into the ordinary flour, which has been sifted, we want to put bicarbonate of soda, pinch of salt. It always has a pinch of salt. And the caster sugar. Mix them up together. Make a well in the middle and add the milk and butter in gently, just to make a good mixture. See, it's very easy. It does it in a trice. There, that's all mixed together. Then just pour it over your apple mixture. Spread it evenly, and it will all sink in and then set. And you get this nice crust on top.
That was lovely.
Simple fare, but good.
Now wrong with simple fare.
And there you are, easy peasy. Would you be there and put that in the hot oven?
Yes, of course.
We'll bake that until it's nice and browned on top and softish in the middle. And that'll take about 40 minutes.
Right.
Thanks, Panks.
It's all right. There we are. Now, I've cut the crusts off a small white loaf of bread and just torn it into, not breadcrumbs so much as little pieces of bread. And I'm going to scatter this all over the top of my smothered spatchcock chicken. It was amazing, but my mother, who never cooked anything, well, she was never allowed to cook anything. They always had servants. Until she was in her 60s, when my father went off his head and left home. And then she took to it, and there were various things that she could do. She had about 5 or 6 dishes that she did terribly well. And she really enjoyed doing, and this was one of them. So easy and so good. And then another bit of butter, and just dot it over the top. Stop the bread from burning.
Nice brown and bubbly.
There we are. Right, I'm going to pop that in the hot oven as well. We'll leave that to cook for about 40 minutes, but keep an eye on it. Well, I'm going to need some goat's cheese for my next recipe.
That's all right, that's easy. There is a lovely lady with goats, and I believe she produces wonderful cheese, so it's exactly what you want.
Well, lead on, Macduff.
Come.
Weren't you saying that the lady with the goats was near a walled garden? This looks possible. What we need now is a way in, don't you think?
Be a place here somewhere.
Must be under there.
My secret garden.
Yes.
Oh, look, a wonderful garden. Beautifully tended by ghosts.
The perfect Victorian walled garden. Isn't it wonderful? They'd have all hot pipes inside the walls, you know, to sort of help ripen the fruit.
Lovely goosegogs.
Yeah.
I'm very partial to a good gooseberry.
Yes, I can't see any at the moment.
They're just coming up.
Look, cartoons!
Oh, the real thing at last.
At last, at last.
They're just like artichokes.
Well, that's because they've been allowed to bolt to get a seed, you see. These little heads here, you shouldn't have
Very
those if you're going
sharp.
to eat them. What you would eat, you see, would be the stalk down there. Must be
Nice for
good.
you to have found one of your beloveds.
Isn't it? Mwah. Dear little cardoons.
You're prickled.
No,
Prickled.
they wouldn't hurt me, I'm their friend. Right, let's go and find the goat.
Onward searching.
Haven't been this way. Ma! I think I could smell goat, Jennifer. I think we're in the right place. Is it like milking a cow?
No, you
Never
don't
do.
pull, you just squeeze.
And then... No.
Extraordinary how these simple tasks to
No.
us humans.
This is not... I'm not you have a go, Jennifer. You might be better than me.
Yeah, I'll try.
Go on. I'll feed the leaves and you have a go. Ooh, you do like the leaves, don't you?
Just hold it there and then squeeze like that.
Come on, me puppet.
That's it.
Sort of rapid fire motion,
That's
isn't
it,
it?
yeah.
You've obviously got the milking touch,
She
Jennifer.
must have.
a new career for you.
Out at dawn with my buckets and pails.
Well, that's it. In future, you can do all the milking.
Always wanted to be a milkmaid. How long does it take you to do a bucket? Do you fill a whole bucket?
No.
How much will she give you?
4 pints.
Really?
This one does, yes.
Well, I hate to break this rustic idyll, but do you have any goat's cheese we could have?
Yes, would you like some?
That would be very kind.
Well, could you just look after her while I just snip up and get her?
Yes, I just keep getting it leaves. Would she be all right?
Is she happy there?
I think she's very happy.
She does.
Ah!
Hold this thing.
You grab the milk, Jennifer. I got the goat. Ah!
Was that a fine goat we had?
Yes, and lovely goat's cheese. Didn't you milk them beautifully?
Well, not beautifully.
Better than me, anyway.
Manage the trickle. Anyway, I'm going to cook a sort of Easterny dish, lamb in phyllo parcels,
That's a juggut chop.
a jigger chop without the bone. Anyway, what I'm going to start with is the stuffing. I've got butter here, bubbling away, and I'm going to add onions and get that softened. Onions, garlic, of course. Garlic is always delicious with sheep. I reckon. Sheep. Any form of sheep. Mutton, lamb, you know. Now I shall add half a pound of mushrooms. Now into this we put our lovely herbs. We've got thyme and chives, mint and parsley. A lovely mixture. Give them a good old mix up. Oh, what a smell! What gives more pleasure than fresh herbs? Just cooking, right?
Well, I can think of some things that give me more pleasure, but not a lot.
Now we put some lemon juice, as much as you fancy, as usual. Can take quite a lot of it. Just salt and pepper. Have it quite well seasoned. And then finally breadcrumbs. Put a nice batch of those. Get it all amalgamated. There we are. We can pop it on the trivet. Now we come to the fun part. We're going to make the parcels with this already prepared phyllo pastry, which you buy. You do not attempt to make unless you come from Mesopotamia or somewhere, and you've been doing it all your life. Lay it down like this. You need 3 for each little parcel. I've got some melted butter here. You paint it on. Some with butter. 1, 2. And each one must be interlaced with more butter. This is what makes it in the end. You know that lovely texture of phyllo pastry? It's all crinkly.
You have to keep it under a damp cloth, don't you?
Yes, otherwise it'll just dry up and shrivel. I've got a bit of a break there, but it doesn't matter. All this is going to end up as a neat parcel, so don't worry. Then you get one of these nice pieces of chop, quite a fine fellow, and I've just seared, just to seal the meat. Place it there, in the middle, then give it a good dollop of the stuffing. Press it in a bit. Then you turn the side up, the front side. Now, butter the sides where you have folded over. Fold it inwards to create the beginning of the package. And then simply turn it over and over. And you have a neat little parcel there.
Very dinky.
Very dinky, you see. It's quite simple and pleasant to behold. And pop it there, and I shall continue filling them all up while you do one of your exciting things.
Exciting things with goat's cheese. I'm making chili rellenos.
Oh, rellenos. Caramba!
Olé. With a tomato salsa. And what I've got here is some jalapeno chilies. And what I've done with them is I've put them into boiling water and then removed it from the heat and left it to stand for 15 minutes. And then I've drained them off. And all you do is you cut the little stalk off and just take out any seeds. And then I'm going to stuff them with goat's cheese. You can use any sort of cheese. In Mexico, I believe they use something called Monterey Jack, which always reminds me of an outlaw. So I take the goat's cheese, lovely goat's cheese.
Isn't it magnificent?
There we are. Break it up. Use your hands for this, it's a lot easier, really. Make sure that they are spotlessly clean before you start.
Of course.
Of course. And then I'm going to add to it some oregano and some salt, quite a lot of salt, because you need to taste the cheese first. This is quite a young, soft cheese, and it needs a bit of salt to flavour it. And some chives, which I'm just going to snip. So nice and so fragrant, and they look so pretty. There we are. And just mix that all in. And you take the chilli, and take a little spoon, and just stuff away. This is why you want chilies that are are a good size. I find chilies such a fascinating subject. My entire family are addicted to chilies. We used to think that my eldest sister was the milkman's child because she was the only one that didn't like chilies. When my brother died, he left me his chili collection.
Oh, what extraordinary thing to be left. Did you use them?
Well, I have been using them over the years. They're finished now. It was some time, but there were dried chilies and bottled chilies and pickled chilies.
Rather a good thing to be left in. And to my sister, I bequeath my chilies.
Rather nice it was, I thought.
Amazing. I thought you might have kept them for heartrending thoughts.
No.
None of that nonsense.
No, absolutely not. So I'm going to put these on now to steam for about 15 minutes, and they'll puff up and look very nice. And to go with it, I'm going to have a cherry tomato salsa. I've got both red and yellow cherry tomatoes. It looks so pretty. And I've just cut them into quarters. To this, I'm going to add some shallots and a little green chilli, which I've just chopped up just to give it a bit of bite, some coriander, and a couple of pinches of salt. You need the salt just to make the juices run. And a few more chives. And then mix it all together. There. That nice?
Pretty, pretty, pretty.
Right, how are these getting on? Perfect.
Are you going to put mine in the oven?
Yep, I'm going to take these off now.
There's 15 minutes in a hot oven if you want them nice and pink inside, which I do hope you do, because otherwise they'll go grey and sad looking. There we go.
Right, well, I suppose we should just check the dining room,
Yes.
and then we could go and see the elephants. I'll take these napkins through. Can you grab that bottle of wine?
Yes, the red.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
Well, this all looks very nice. We're nearly done. Just leave them some napkins.
nice and bright.
Well, they can help themselves. They'll need it after they've been...
I'll leave them...
put it
You've
on
got
there.
the white up there. I'll
Yeah, put
that
it on
one
there. Right,
Yeah.
let's go and see the Ellies. Well, you never know. We might see the walkout.
The walkout.
Yeah, they're walking out to the field. Do you want to take the bike or should we take the Land Rover?
Oh, I think we'd be better taking the Land Rover, probably, in case something unforeseen happened.
Yes. Keep out the monkeys, if not the elephants.
Coming round the bend there.
Oh, there they are.
All in uniformation.
I know, school crocodile.
And they're sweet.
They go quite quickly, don't they?
Yes, with those great legs carrying them on, they look slow, but they're taking very big strides compared to us. Plump, plump.
Right, let's go and follow them up the hill.
Follow the herd, follow the herd.
Look up. You have this.
They all look very, very happy out here in the wild.
Nice and full up, aren't they?
Well, at this stage of the day,
Yeah.
they're absolutely full. They're still taking more grass, but they've had several hours now.
They go on
Picking
forever if
grass.
you let them, wouldn't
I
they?
think they will. They spend a few hours a day just sort of sunning themselves or dusting themselves or mud baths, but certainly 18 hours of the day is eating.
We've cooked all this lovely food for you.
We're looking forward to it.
Why don't you go off and eat it and leave us here to babysit?
Well, sounds like the best offer we've had today.
If they stampede, we'll be there in front of them.
Tell us which point of the campus they're aiming for and we'll intercept.
Anyway, well, off you go and enjoy your food.
Enjoy. Yes,
Enjoy.
Thank you.
We'll stay and look after them.
Bon appetito.
Thank you.
And we will sing you a lullaby.
You sing them a lullaby. They may very well stampede if I sing them a lullaby.
But don't ain't seen anything when I sees an elephant fly.
Well, guys, I guess this is it. Let's get stuck in.
The devil has all the best recipes, and these mustard petit poussins are no exception.
How's that? Try that. Let's try that. Go with the chili.
Chili rellenos, warm goat's cheese, chili, and a Tex-Mex salsa on the side.
When are you going to move them on? You're just trying to make Steve feel better, aren't you?
You got the chili. I'm struggling.
Crisp phyllo pastry makes neat little parcels. Simply served, they are quite a feast. Lamb in phyllo pastry, stuffed and pink to a turn.
What did that say?
Nothing, I never sent it.
Jolly songs inspired this fair. Serve with cream and say howdy to apple pan dowdy.
And a toast to Jennifer and Clarissa for a super meal.
Cheers.
For watching the elephants.
And thank you very much.
What a curious day.
Extraordinary, like being in the middle of a fairy tale book.
Dr. Dolittle.
Dr. Dolittle, yes. Very extraordinary meeting those animals near to.
I know, so close. It's been rather wonderful, really.
And our lovely Ellies, that I'm madly in love with. I think they're charming. I'm glad we're looking after them.
Yes.
Gives me a feeling of responsibility.
I'm so glad, dear. Yes, well, we really are babysitting because we've got the babies.
Jumbo babies. I have a feeling that they wouldn't hurt one. You're all right, aren't you? Yes.
You're getting nearer and nearer to your circus career.
What I wanted to be always when I was a little girl. I wanted to be the lady on the horse jumping through the hoop. in a beautiful pink tutu.
Well, I'm sure that could be arranged.
I'm fond of them.
Well, I'm glad you feel that. We may be here some time with them. I hope they come back.
We listen. The thumb will go down, and the cries of terrible animals will come up. Jackals, ready to eat us.
We're not in the bush.
Well, we practically are.
Well, here's to the bush.
Here's to the bush. We'll call if nothing happens soon.